Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Time to say good morning to our representative for the Greater Wellington Regional Coast, on the Kapiti Coast here, I should say, and it's Penny Gaylor. Good morning, Penny.
Good morning, Nigel and everybody. I hope we are all safe and well and getting through kind of clean-ups and all the things we need to be doing, getting to work okay, getting to work on time, hopefully, from here on in. So, yes, what a time we've had, eh?
Not as bad as a lot of people, though, so I always say we're pretty lucky, to be quite honest. When I read about this young lady down at Kaiteri, a big crash at the back door, it was a slip she didn't realise, 3 kids, her husband's away, and she had to swim across a river with a 4-year-old in her arms. So, I mean, we got nothing to worry about.
Surely did, yes. So, some very dramatic events have been happening for people, so really hard for them to deal with.
Right. Anything that's of concern to the Greater Wellington Regional Council in the way of flooding or anything like that?
So, you know, because we had the event earlier last week, it was a bit of a precursor to things too. And so, for example, I talked about this last week, was at the Waitahu stream, where there'd been quite a bit of flooding, a lot of trees and branches swept down, and so straight away as the waters cleared, the regional council staff had contractors in to clear those branches, knowing that the cyclone was coming, and to make sure that we could absolutely minimise any additional damage that was going to be happening. So they actually had a lot of stuff cleared out. Any new kind of waste materials that were coming down the stream were removed, and so just to, as I say, manage down any kind of further risks. So all that was done, and then also what they had even already been planning to do, and they just carried on to get it done, was to cut the mouth at the Waitahu stream estuary. Oh, yes. And so that was about, you know, they had already identified that they were going to be doing that. Then when they were like, oh, well, we've got Gita coming our way as well, potentially, so they made sure that they got that done as planned. And so very, I checked in with staff yesterday, they were very pleased how that kind of managed itself, given that they'd done the cut, did the job. You know, everyone was all a bit nervous about things, of course. And, you know, there's been, you know, high impact around these streams and waterways and, you know, the estuaries and stuff like that. But all that preventative work and all that kind of clean-up that's getting done as these events happen, a good reminder to us in making these funding decisions that that's all part of the job, is to make sure that we're doing those works and not letting things slip.
Has anybody checked the Waimiha stream at Waikanai since the flooding?
Yes, so certainly the regional council staff had been in there, and they were doing an emergency cut in there yesterday.
Oh, right, okay.
Was the day they were doing that. So really, again, realising that they needed to act swiftly when things were needing to be done. Of course, at a time they have to make do these things when there is low tide, so they were all working into particular time frames, very tight time frames too, I have to say, for plenty of obvious reasons in terms of health and safety stuff and just effectiveness. So, you know, they're certainly all on top of that, I'd like to think.
Good. Now, we've got a bit of a farm walk today, this weekend, haven't we, down at Queen Elizabeth Park or somewhere there at the Greater Wellington Regional putting on?
Well, we just might want to check that that's all still good to go. Just, you know, if you're interested in that, which would be lovely, just go into our website and just check that that's all go. I haven't heard that it's not, but I do know that we were having a similar kind of event along the Riverlink areas for the Hutt River last night, and they had postponed that due to the weather conditions. So just to make sure, go in and check on our website that nothing's changed on you, so you don't turn up and nothing's going on. Right.
Anything on the transport issues? You got that all sorted out?
Well, I'd also checked in with the chap in charge of the transport, and, you know, I have to say, remarkably and very pleasing, there were no delays due to the cyclone kind of whipping through our areas. So for Kapiti, there was no impacts or people let down with the system. So really pleased because we know there was such drama on the roads. So good to know that there is that opportunity for people to use the train services to get safely through. But, we never know how these things can go. We can plan as much as we do, and we just got to, you just never quite know if you're going to have an unexpected slip somewhere, but it all went well, so that is good.
Any further news on our bus service to East Waikanai up around Hemimatangi? You got any further ahead with that?
Yes, we've been continuing to kind of that kind of consultation process with the kind of the direct neighbourhoods and stuff like that. So if I'll follow up and get by next week, have a date for you for when we're looking to actually commence that service. But, there had been some reflection back from people. They wanted a little bit more time in the conversation with Regional Council. So we said, well, no, fair enough. We want to make sure you're all happy with the service we then put in place.
Okay. And the new service that you've got operating from the beach and also the shortened version around Waikanai garden area, is that working well, or is there any comments on that?
I certainly haven't heard any negative comments.
Right.
And I welcome anybody who, if you've got some feedback, tell us, because we do want to know how you think. We want to know how you're finding services. Always welcome to contact me. Always welcome to contact the Metlink and give that feedback, because, of course, some things will sometimes need refining. So, tell us if you've got any suggestions about that.
Great. All right, Penny. Well, you're out and about today. You have a good day, and we'll talk to you next week.
Great. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Penny Gaylor, Greater Wellington Regional Rep for the Kapiti Coast here on Beach FM.
106.3 Beach FM.